In this segment, we will look at the difference between a square or reef knot and a granny knot. First, we will look at the way a square or reef knot is tied. Hold the two ends of the suture, one end in your left and the other with your right. Place the left end over the right end of the suture and make a loop. Now make a second loop by placing the end that is now in your right hand over that on your left. Make a second loop. You will see that in the square or reef knot, there are two interlocking loops. Two ends emerging on top of a loop at one end, and on the opposite side, the other two ends emerging beneath the loop. If instead you start with a suture in your right hand and placing it over that on your left to make the first loop, then the second loop is created by using that same end, which is now in your left hand. Placing it over the end in your right hand, make a loop. Thus, you can start with either end, but the sequence must be right over left followed by left over right, or left over right followed by right over left. Let's look at how a granny knot is created. Place the suture on your left hand over the right. Make a loop. Now, instead of using the suture in your right hand, you make a second loop by using the suture in your left hand again. The result is a granny knot. This knot does not hold well, and you should avoid tying a granny knot. To reiterate, a granny knot is created when you tie left over right, followed by another left over right, or similarly, right over left, followed by another right over left.